Yes, hi, it's me. So, yesterday in my Unconnected Marketeers video, I mentioned that I needed to hurry up, get it done so I can go to the collector store, and hopefully finish my main deck, my Live Twin Shadow, and my Trap Tricks deck. And the hope, as well as hopefully start a new deck, which I did. All three of those. I finished my Twin Shadow, Twin Shadow, my Live Twin Snake Eyes, and my Trap Tricks deck, as well as started working on the new deck. But yeah, as you can see, I've got my Twin Snake Eyes deck, my Trap Tricks deck, and believe it or not, my improved Spirit Charmer deck, as well as the new deck I'm starting to work on. Like, yeah, it's in a plastic baggie because I don't have an extra deck box to put it in yet, unfortunately. So, yeah. Unless I want to lose the cards that I spent, believe it or not, almost $30 on. Just for these. For all these. Like $30 or so. And let me tell you. My trip was pricey. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and just start on the improved Spirit Charmers deck, which I actually did get and keep the box for. The new version of the Spirit Charmers deck, the Chronicles, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Chronicles deck, Spirit Charmers starter deck, the new and improved deck. It comes with, okay, so I'm going to start with the extra deck monsters because I obviously have the extra deck monsters up front because it's much easier to like take out the extra deck monsters and then just separate the extra deck and then the main deck. So, the extra deck this came with is Charmers of the Grand Circle, the brand new Spirit Charmer Fusion Monster support. And here it is. Here it is. The new Spirit Charmer support. A really good card, by the way. It comes with one Win the Wind Charmer Verdant Link monster. However, I have two. The reason why I have two is simple. You're probably playing two anyway, so like it makes sense. It comes with one Area the Water Charmer Gentle. Again, I have two. Also, all the cards that come in this are foil, by the way. So, yeah, it's really nice. It comes with one Hida the Fire Charmer Ablaze. Once again, I have two. Comes with one Asa the Earth Charmer Immovable. Once again, got two. It doesn't come with this card, but I added a Lina the Light Charmer Lustrous. I love Lina. I love Lina. And the extra deck comes with Silo Hat Rabbit. If you've seen, like, I have this in my Master White Forest deck in Master Duel. I just never really use it. Like, I have it in there just in case, but I never use it. Because I don't really need to use it. Shit, I don't even need the new White Forest support. I don't even have the new White Forest support for the deck. Because, I don't really need it with my White Forest deck in Master Duel. It's fine on its own. And then the extra deck comes with Selene, Queen of the Master Magicians, which we have right here. It comes with one access code talker, which, again, got right here. Pretty neat. As well as one Quintet Magician. Very useful. Very useful. And then finishing off the extra deck, we have the Zombie Vampire. That's the extra deck. Now we've got the normal monsters as well as the spells and traps. I'm going to tell you right now, the spells and traps didn't change too much. However, the main deck monsters absolutely did change drastically. And you're going to see why. Oh, you're going to see why. So, this deck comes with one Win the Wind Charmer, which we got a new art exclusive to the structure deck, which really neat. I like it. Very nice. Comes with one Win the Wind Channeler. Okay, I already had one of these, but again, I like the foil cards more because they're prettier. So yeah. Comes with one Familiar Possessed Win. Again, basically almost every card you see in this, every like dark shiny card you see is going to be from this structure deck. Again, Spirit Charmers, not the best deck, but what Konami did with this structure deck actually makes the Spirit Charmers really viable. Again, you're gonna find out whenever I get to that, but it's not gonna be too long. It comes with one Area of the Water Charmer. New art. Exclusive to the structure deck. Very nice. One Area the Water Channeler. Again, all the like shiny cards are foil from the structure deck, pretty much. So yeah. One Familiar Possessed Area. Yeah, they gave for the structure deck. They gave us the alt art. They gave us the alternate art, Familiar Possessed versions. Which either art is fine with me, but the alt art's really nice, regardless. One hit of the Fire Charmer. Again, new artwork exclusive to the structure deck, as of currently at least. Spirit Charmers really need more love. Not a great archetype, but it's fun. Comes with one Hida the Fire Channeler. One Familiar Possessed Hida. Once again, alternate art. I don't know why they chose the alternate arts instead of like the original art for the Familiar Possessed versions. Again, I'm not complaining. Both arts are great. It's just like, why the alternate arts though? One Asa the Earth Charmer, yet again. Alternate new art exclusive to the structure deck. Asa, the Earth Charmer. Familiar Possessed Asa. Again, and now this structure deck don't have these two monsters in it either. I just added them in because, again, why not? Familiar Possessed Lina. And Lina the Light Charmer. Both versions of, well, all three versions of Lina weren't included in the structure deck. I just added them because I really like Lina. I like Lina. I really do like Lina. This the structure deck came with, again, Awakening of the Possessed Reisen Ryu. Came with Ranryu. Once again, basically all foil cards that came with the structure deck, which is pretty cool. So, yeah. Awakening of the Possessed Gigabyte. Gigabyte. Awakening of the Possessed Greater Inari Fire. Then we got Inari Fire. Awakening of the Possessed Nefariouser Archfiend. The Nefarious Archfiend, Eater of Nefariousness. And that's all for the main deck monsters that are basically Spirit Charmers or Spirit Charmer support. Now we get into what makes the structure deck really viable and really good. And for those who know about the structure deck, or the meta, not just Master Duel, but the TCG and the OCG. Get this! I'm gonna say a monster's name, and you're gonna be like, "Holy shit, that's included in this!" Kabaz Protection of Horus. Oh yeah, they added the Horus engine into the Spirit Charmers. I have zero idea why, but holy shit. Holy shit! What was Konami thinking when they made this? Holy fuck, Konami, you fucking goddamn! I know we shit on you all the time, but Horus with Spirit Charmers? Konami, please. We're only just normal people trying to play a game. Chill. Then we got Mseti, Glory of Horus. Dramatef, Blessing of Horus. Happy, Guidance of Horus. But yeah, I have zero idea as to why they included the Horus engine in here. Zero idea why. It is insanity. Fairy Tail Luna. We got Alt-Art Fairy Tail Luna for the structure deck, which I actually like. Again, I think I prefer this over the original. Hold on. I do have the original art Fairy Tail Luna still. I just gotta look through all that. I gotta look through all this. I mean, the sleeved cards are like all stuff I had. My Life Twin Shadow variant of my deck. Literally every single one that's sleeved was in my Shadow variant of my Life Twin deck. Back when that was the thing. If you remember that, you're a real one. And then, yeah, you know, got my Japanese area, the water channeler. My Springans kit. My Witchcrafter Vice Madam. And my Witchcrafter Confusion Confession. Both Jet OCG versions of the cards. Okay. I gotta find Luna. Yeah, I have both versions of... I have both artworks for Tour Guide. Yeah, see, I've still got the original artworks for the familiar possessed variants of the Spirit Charmers. Except Dark. I don't care for Dark, personally. And, you know, the original artworks for just the normal Charmer versions of them. Just the original artworks. Again, I kept my original Spirit Charmer structure deck box as well as the cards in it. Oh wait, this isn't an alternate artwork. This is the same artwork. Never mind. I'm stupid. Yeah, and of course got the original. Yeah, it gave me a second Win the Wind channeler for the structure deck. And let me tell you why I got a second Win the Wind channeler with the structure deck exclusive artwork. Just let me put these away. Wait, shit. Here we go. And let me tell you, those tour guides were not cheap when I got them. They were not cheap. But you know what? I got them just because I like tour guide. So, yeah. But again, turns out, not alt art. This is just foil. I thought it was. Then we got... And these two weren't part of the structure deck. I just added them, you know, because, you know, they're spellcasters. They got great attack. Not great defense, but again, they have flip effects. You got Fairy Tale Sleeper and Fairy Tale Rella. Kept them in just because, you know, spellcasters. I can use them as fusion fodder for the Charmers of the Grand Circle. Or, you know, Quintet Magician, which utilizes 5 spellcasters. So, I could do that. Then we got 2 more that were added to the structure deck, but 4 cards total. 2 of which I kept in from how I had the deck made before, and 2 that were in the structured, including the structure deck. The structure deck came with Lord of the Heavenly Prison. Holy fuck. If you don't know what this card does, if you know what this card does, you know why it's a holy fuck kind of card. And then, yeah, the last main deck monster that this Destruction deck came with is Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. Okay. I mean, I understand why they added it. Because, again, they added the spellbook spells to some of the spellbook spells to the structure deck, which is why this is in here to begin with. But, yeah. And then the last two monsters we have in this deck, other than, Ash Blossoms, which I do. If I want to just use Ash Blossoms, I could take them out of my deck. So it's like, yeah. We got Witchcrafter Golem Aruru, which, of course, I kept her because she is great for protecting spellcaster monsters. And bouncing a card back from my... Yeah. A card my opponent controls back to the hand, or if it was an extra deck monster, back to the extra deck. And then, of course, we gotta have the hand trap, just in case. Effect Veiler. Why not? It's Effect Veiler. But yeah, again, this is a long video, but it's one worth making. Because how often do I get to talk about something like this? Not too often. But, yeah. I'm recording this on a Saturday, but you're watching it Sunday because, why not? And then, of course, most of these spells were in the deck originally. But we got Awakening of the Possessed, Spirit Charmers. The structure deck came with one Grand Spiritual Art of Chirin. I put both in here, just in case, just in case I needed a second one. And now we start getting into what was included for a little bit in the structure deck. Spellbook of Knowledge, Spellbook of Secrets, Spellbook of the Grand Circle, which is, I'm pretty sure is exclusive to the structure deck, because it does mention adding 4 Charmer monsters, different attributes from the deck to the hand, or deck, graveyard, or banishment from that to the hand. So this is also exclusive to the structure deck. This is Spirit Charmers exclusive to the structure deck. So again, also got new support with that, just on its own. And again, since it mentions Charmer monsters, it's basically, exclusive support for Charmers. As of right now, at least. And then this came with the original version of the structure deck, Spirit Charmers structure deck, but Dark Ruler no more. And now another one that came with the structure deck that wasn't in the original version of the structure deck. Sol and Luna. Next up, another card that wasn't in the original Spirit Charmer structure deck, but was included in this one. Magicalized Fusion, most likely for Quintet Magician. Definitely for Quintet Magician. This was not included in the original version of... This was included in the original version of the Spirit Charmer structure deck, but not this updated version. Raigeki. I kept it in because it's Raigeki. Come on. Why wouldn't I keep it in? And, again, I already mentioned Horus was in the deck, so Gotta have King Sarcophagus. Gotta have King Sarcophagus if you have Horus engine in it, you know, so yeah. And then Twin Twisters originally in the original Spirit Charmer structure deck, but not this one. And then we have Harpy's Feather Duster, which was not included in any version of the structure deck, but I added to the original version of the deck and then kept it in this one. Now we move on to the traps. These did not change too much. Like, only one trap was really added to it. But yeah, we've got Possessed Partnerships. That stayed, of course. Unpossessed, that stayed. Spiritual Wind Art Miyabi, stayed. Wind Support. Spiritual Water Art Aoi, stayed. Spiritual Fire Art Kurenai, stayed. Spiritual Earth Art Kuragane, that stayed. And the only trap that was included in this structure deck that was not in my original version of the deck or the original version of the structure deck, Angel Statue Azuroon, the only trap that was added. And then these were in this next trap was in the original Spirit Charmer structure deck. I just kept in because why not? Metaverse. And then this one was not in either version of the Spirit, not this new version or the original Spirit Charmer structure deck. I just added it, you know, just so I can get, you know, like a spellcaster monster on the field if I needed one. It's Magician's Circle. And that is my updated version of the Spirit Charmer, my Spirit Charmer deck. That is one complete version of the deck, excluding 2 Infinite Impermanents, but I could just take those out, so, and add them if I needed to. But yeah, whew. I need to take a breather. I'll be back in like a second for you guys. Oh, Mountain Dew. Thank you for quenching my thirst. But now we go into my Trap Tricks deck. Yes, my secondary deck. Yeah. Obviously, we start off with the extra deck first, and then we go into the main deck monsters, then the spells, and then the traps. But yeah, let me sort them real quick. Obviously, we start off with the boss monster herself, queen of the Trap Tricks, Rafflesia. Got Trap Tricks Pinguicula. Trap Tricks Alomaris. Got 2 copies of Trap Tricks Sarah. Trap Tricks Adipus. Trap Tricks Calaria. And the final extra deck monster that was not originally included in the structure deck at all, I added just because, you know, just in case I really, really needed it. Zeus. Yeah. I had the Zeus just because, well, you know, why not? Just in case I needed it. And I'm fucking glad I did, because holy shit. In Match Duel at one point, it did come in handy. Which I still need to show off those replays at some point. Probably do that later in the week. Not tomorrow, obviously. Well, when this is up, not tomorrow, but... Or Thursday, because Mondays, Mega Man, and then Thursdays, Toho 19. So, yeah. But yeah. Got, again, 3 copies of Mantis. The monster cards didn't change at all. 2 Trap Tricks Dionea. 2 Traptrix Merlimalio. 2 Traptrix Arachnocampa. 2 Traptrix Pudica. 2 Traptrix Vesiculo. 2 Traptrix Genlissi. Actually, no. Something was added to the main deck monsters. It's not what you think, though. 2 Traptrix Nepenthes. It's not something, like, really big. 1 Traptrix Atrax. 2 Parallel Exceed. 1 monster that was not originally in the deck. I just added, just in case it was in my hand and I needed something on the field, just in case. Diabellstar. Of course. And then the last 2 monsters in the extra deck. 2 Ash Blossoms. Remember, I had 1 Ash Blossom in the deck. I got another one and added it to the Traptrix deck. So, yep. Finally got 2 Ash Blossoms in the main deck now for Traptrix. And now for the spells. The spells. 2 Trap Gardens. You remember I had 1 Trap Garden in the deck. 1. I finally got my second one. Officially finishing the deck. Except, 2 Infinite Impermanence I don't have in the deck yet, but again, I can just take them out of... Yeah, I can just take them out and add it if I need to. But yeah, finally, 2 Trap Gardens. Everything else is basically the same, but again, since I'm on the spells anyway, I might as well just, just... 1 Trap Tantalizing Tune. 1 Called by the Grave. Monster Reborn, because why not? Just in case. Raigeki. Harpy's Feather Duster. And another card that wasn't originally in the structure deck, I added just because why not, just in case. Swords of Revealing Light. And again, now we go on to the traps, which did not change at all. The only things that were really added to the deck from last time I showed it off was my second Ash Blossom and the second Trap Garden. But 1 Traptrix Holotea. 2 Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmares. 2 Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmares. 1 Traptrix. You straighten the deck up. 2 Void Trap Holes. 2 Bottomless Trap Holes. 2 Trap Holes. 2 Floodgate Trap Holes. Evenly Matched. And the final trap that was not originally in the Beware the Traptrix structure deck, which is basically what this is, just with some extra stuff added to it. Skill Drain. A card I almost never really use, because I never really have it in my hand. If I do, I almost either never need it, or, like, it's basically just over anyway for my opponent. So, like, I never really use it. It's just in there just in case. It has come in handy in the past, though, so... That's a plus. That is a plus. I decided to turn on the lamp for this segment because better, easier on my eyes, you know. So, yeah, now we move on to my main deck, the Live Twin Snake Eye deck. Now, the extra deck did not change at all, neither did the spells or traps, but there was one addition to the main deck. To the monsters, at least. But yeah, starting off with the extra deck, obviously 3 Evil Twin Keys to Kill. Did not change at all. 2 Evil Twin Lilas. Did not change. 1 Evil Twins Trouble Sunny. Didn't change. SP Little Knight. Did not change. And Promethean Princess Bestower of Flames. Did not change. Again, like I said, extra deck did not change. Neither did the spells or the traps. Only 1 monster was added to the main deck. Speaking of the main deck, here we go with it. Evil Twins Keys to Kill Lila. Then we got 3 Live Twin Keys to Kill. Samus Keys to Kill, we got 3 Live Twin Lilas. One Live Twin Keys to Kill Frost. 1 Live Twin Lila Treat. And that's all for the Live Twin monsters. All the Live Twin monsters, that's it. And now we get into the Snake Eyes stuff. Start with Diabellstar the Black Witch, because of course we do. Then we go into Snake Eyes Diabellstar. Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon. Snake Eye Ash. Snake Eye Birch, one of. Straighten the deck up. And now we get into the only addition to the deck. The final card I needed for the deck. Snake Eye Poplar. Finally got the Poplar. Last time I went to the collector's store, they did not have any Poplars in stock. I went, checked. Literally, first thing I did when I walked in, I went straight to the kiosk, looked this up, saw they had it, immediately added it to my cart. The Live Twin Snake Eye deck is complete. Now that I have Poplar. Well, how I have it made, at least, it's complete. Other people will have it made differently. I mean, they'll obviously not play Live Twins with Snake Eyes, and they'll have, like, the Fusion and the Synchro Snake Eyes monsters, but other than that, yeah, this is how I have it built. And then 2 Ash Blossom Joy Springs. Now, where the deck differentiates is interesting because in Master Duel I have 2 versions of this deck. One that doesn't have any bricks in the deck, and then one that has some hand traps that you don't really see at all because nobody plays them, because why would you need to play them, you know? Starting with Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. First brick in the deck. Don't really use it. It's only like these 3 hand traps I'm going to are very situational. So it's like, yeah. But Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries only works if... And how it works is, say for example, my opponent is also playing Snake Eye, right? If you're playing Snake Eye, you'll very likely have Promethean Princess in the extra deck. It's like, you show your opponent your extra deck, and then they show you your extra deck. Oh, you got Promethean Princess like in your extra deck like I do? Discard Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries. Banish that shit. Get that garbage off my field. That's essentially what that's what Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries does. It basically just banishes one monster from the extra deck. very situational. So, well, all cards in the extra deck with that same name, which again, very situational. Otherwise, yeah, you don't see it. Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood, another card you don't see because again, what's the point of using it? You basically just gain life point every time your opponent special summons an effect monster during the main or battle phase. You gain life points equal to that monster's attack points, but if you don't gain life points, your life points are cut in half at the end phase. Very situational, and not only that, very risky card to play. But with how modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Works, you don't really have to worry about that too much. And of course, that's not considering it getting negated or banished or moved from your hand by card effect or whatever. So, yeah. And then the third and final brick in the deck, that's, again, very situational. Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. It basically just negates a monster's effect that was special summoned. If it's an effect monster, discard it. Negate a special summoned monster's effect that the opponent controls, and if it does get negated, the owner of that monster takes damage equal to that monster's attack points. Say your opponent's playing like a Baron de Fleur, right? You can negate this and use its only negate, right? Discard this, therefore it can't be negated since Baron only uses negate. You can negate Baron's other effect, and then the opponent takes life point damage, takes the 3,000 damage because Baron de Fleur has 3,000 attack points. The opponent takes 3,000 damage. That's, again, very situational, but could come in handy under the right circumstances. All the Yokai girls can be very helpful under the right circumstances. These two especially came in handy. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, my personal favorite of them all. And then Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. But that's the main deck and the extra deck done. Again, spells and traps did not change at all. So I really don't need to showcase these, but because I did that for the other two decks already, and again, spells and traps, I might as well, So we got one Lilila Rep, one Live Twin Home. I played a one originally back when I first started using the Live Twin deck. I played one originally anyway, so it's like you only really need one. One Live Twin Sunny Snitch. One Secret Password. One Live Twin Channel, which again, you only really need one of these. You hardly ever really utilize it anyway. Because if you're playing Live Twin, especially pure Live Twin, you only really need to use the first effect. You only get to use the second effect if you don't have any monsters on the field. If you don't have any monsters on the field, you can utilize the second effect. Otherwise, you're basically only really using the first effect to add to recycle the monsters. Other than that, yeah, that's about it. So you only really need one of them. Then you got one Dramatic Snake Eye Chase. One original Sinful Spoils Snake Eye. One Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils. Shit. 1 Divine Temple of the Snake Eyes. Oh, it's Snake Eye, not Snake Eyes. 1 Sinful Spoils of Subversion, Snake Eye. A single bonfire. Two Called by the Graves, which I might take 1 out of the extra deck because I have been thinking, well, not the extra deck, to take out because again, not just because of Master Duel, but I've also been thinking, why do I really need 2 in the deck? Like, I almost never use them anyway, so it's like, why have 2? Just go with 1, especially with those other 3 yokai girls that are very situational, like Ghost Reaper, Ghost Mourner, Ghost Sister. With those being bricks, having a second Called by the Grave will hinder the deck much more. So I'm thinking, yeah, I am going to take 1 out. I am going to take 1 out. So, yeah, basically 1 Called by the Grave. And then we got my favorite spell card in the entire game, Change of Heart. Really good card. Really beautiful. And then you got 1 Monster Reborn, just in case, You never know, you might need it. It's always nice to have a Monster Reborn on hand. And for the traps, again, traps did not change at all. Got 2 Evil Twin Presence. 2 Evil Twin GG Easy. 2 Evil Twin Challenge. Straighten the deck up again. 1 Startling Stare of the Snake Eyes. And then we got 2 Infinite Impermanence. But yeah, with that being the end of the main deck, that's 3 complete decks now. 3 entire decks completely finished. I am glad I finally got these 2 main decks complete, especially this Live Twin Snake Eyes deck, because I remember back when I started working on it, it was just pure Live Twin with some extra stuff in it just to get the 40 card minimum requirement for the deck. Had none of the extra deck for a while. So, yeah, then I changed it to make it Live Twin Shadow, which, again, obviously I mentioned I still have the Shadow cards. They're still in the sleeves. From back when they were actually part of the deck. And if I want to switch the Snake Eye stuff out for the Shadow stuff, they're already sleeves. So it's like, I can just do that. And then I changed that to how the deck is now. And I am quite happy and content with how it is now. I don't think I'm ever going to change the deck now. I'm quite happy with how how it finally came out. But yeah, I'm going to take a little breather again so we can finally get onto the final part of the final showcase of the video at least. But yeah, see you in a second once more. And for this final segment, I am really excited to show because I did mention in my Unconnected Marketeers video that there was a deck I was working on that I did want to start working on. And this is where most of my funds went yesterday. This deck right here. Still not finished, but pretty damn close. I'm missing only really 13 cards that I don't already have. So, I get those 13 cards, this deck's finished. But yeah, if you watch my Master Duel videos, there are, well, nowadays at least, my current day Master Duel videos, there's 3 decks I play. Live Twin Snake Eye, my main deck, my secondary deck, my Traptrix deck, and my third and final deck, again, Master Duel. If you watch my Master Duel video, my modern day Master Duel videos, White Forest. White Forest has begun. And I, quite frankly, really excited to work on this deck. Because again, it's a meta deck. It's meta. Don't get me wrong, it's meta, but it's a fun deck to play. You know, I don't play the new White Forest support for it, but again, I personally don't need the new support. The way that I have the deck made in Master Duel, I'm going to have it made in here as well. You know, if I need to like add cards or remove cards because, you know, ban lists and all that, I can just do that. But yeah, I'm going based off on how I normally build the decks. Is I'll do it in Master Duel first, and if I like the deck enough, I might make it with the actual cards. If I don't like it enough, I'll dismantle it in Master Duel. Just never bother. But yeah, White Forest, again, meta, just like Snake Eye. But really fun deck to play, personally, to me at least. Because it doesn't rely on banishing. It doesn't rely on negates. It could do those things. But the way I personally like to play it, I don't like to do that because, you know, that kind of fucking ruins the game, you know? So I don't do it. Like, unless it's like a once per turn kind of thing, or, you know, once while on the field. Don't worry, I'll get to that. But other than that, like the once per turn or whatever, that's personally fine. Especially if it comes at a cost of like life points or a card or two or something. That's personally fine because you're paying a cost for that. Otherwise, yeah, like that those things just ruin the game. Negates, banishing, destroying any amount of time, you know, burn damage to your opponent. You know, fucking Dragoon. Fuck Dragoon, dude. Dragoon should have stayed banned. But yeah, anyways. Obviously, we gotta start with... I haven't even gotten the chance to, like, sort these cards out because I've been rambling, not showing the cards off that I have for White Forest so far. Again, still not finished. Missing like 13 cards I don't have. And the cards I do have, I could literally just take out of my decks. So it's like, yeah. But yeah. Again, this is the only Synchro deck I use. I genuinely don't like Synchros. I think they were a mistake, much like Pendulums. XYZ, I don't have a problem with. Lynx, I don't have a problem with. Fusion, obviously, don't have a problem with that. But Synchros and Pendulums, shit. But, you know, White Forest monsters are actually fairly balanced when it comes to effects and stuff like that. But yeah, obviously, start with the extra deck monsters. Again, basically a Synchro deck. And believe it or not, this deck was actually... These cards were actually surprisingly cheap. Which is why I have got so many of the cards already. They were cheap. And on like $31 budget the $31 I had to spend on these cards, most of that $31 actually went to the White Forest cards after, you know, I got my second Ash Blossom for my Traptrix deck, my second Traptrix Garden for Traptrix deck, and my Snake Eyes Poplar. After that, the rest of the money went to these White Forest cards. So, yeah. But yeah, starting off with the extra deck, we got Diabelle, Queen of the White Forest. Arciela, Sinister Soul of the White Forest. Silvera, Wolf Tamer of the White Forest. Baronne de Fleur, which I found out is actually banned in the TCG. But yeah, let me go off on a tangent. Let me go off on a tangent in this video real quick, right? Konami will ban Baronne de Fleur in the TCG. However, they'll unban fucking Dragoon, which, for those who don't know, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is a fusion monster who requires Dark Magician and one Red Eyes monster or one effect Dragon monster. It's usually Red Eyes with Red Eyes Fusion. Because, you know, you can search Red Eyes Fusion much easier than you can a polymerization or whatever. So, Red Eyes Fusion is genuinely used with Dark Magician and Red Eyes to get Dragoon. But what Dragoon basically does is, you can discard a card, right? Negate an effect that your opponent activates. And if you do that, Dragoon gains 1,000 attack points from its base 3,000 attack. Not only that, but you can also do burn damage to your opponent once you destroy any. It's a quick effect. You can discard. You can destroy a monster your opponent controls, and then your opponent takes I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's 1,000 damage or something. Like, it's either 1,000. Hold on. Again, I personally don't have Dragoon's effect memorized because I refuse to play Dragoon. And if you play Dragoon in general, nobody loves you and you have no friends. Nobody loves you and you have no friends. But yeah, let me search up Red Eyes Dark Dragoon real quick. Just so I could get its effect. Again, I don't have the effect of Dragoon memorized because I refuse to play it, and if you play it, nobody loves you. And you have no friends. Dragoon was banned for very good reason, and its effect is why it was banned. They'll unban Dragoon, but they'll ban Baronne, which, by the way, while Baronne is on the field, it only gets one negate. And not only does Baronne only get one negate while it's on the field, during the person who controls its main phase, only the main phase, they get to destroy one card on the field. One card. And if that card gets destroyed, no burn damage is dealt at all. So, Baronne is pretty balanced in that regard. Baronne is extremely balanced. Baronne is actually fairly balanced, all things considered. And then you got fucking Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, which... ridiculous fucking effect, by the way. Again, like I said, Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon, or Dark Magician and one Dragon Effect monster, cannot be destroyed by card effects. Something Baronne doesn't have. Baronne can be destroyed by card effects. Neither player can target this card with card effects. Another thing Baronne doesn't have. During your main phase, you can destroy one monster your opponent controls. And if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. If it's like a low attack point monster, that's fine. But if it's a high attack point monster, that's when it really becomes an issue. You can use this effect a number of times per turn, up to the number of normal monsters used as fusion material for this card. Normal monsters meaning not effect monsters. So, say you did use Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon. Neither of those two have effects. And because those two don't have effects, you can use that effect twice per turn. Meaning, the damage racks up pretty fucking quickly. Something Baronne de Fleur does not have. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, once per turn. This is fine. This effect is fine. It's a quick effect, and it's once per turn. It's fine. This part of the effect is balanced. You can discard one card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. When I say it was fine, it's fine at first. But if you do that, this card gains 1,000 attack. So not only can it not be destroyed by card effects, it can't be targeted with effects. Two things Baronne de Fleur doesn't have. You can discard a card, negate a card or effect activation. Destroy that card that gets activated, or the effect. Dragoon gains 1,000 attack, giving it 4,000 attack. So that's 4 ridiculous things Baronne de Fleur does not have. The only balanced part of the effect, is, and I say balanced, like quotes, it could be balanced. Again, it just depends on, if Dragoon's played against you, if you're playing like a low attack point monster or a high attack point monster, it's iffy on if it's balanced or not. Again, it all depends on how many effect monsters that is used, how many normal monsters is used for its fusion summon, which is, again, why people normally use Dark Magician and Red Eyes, because they're both normal monsters, so they can do that part of the effect twice. And again, it all depends on if you're playing if it's being used against you. If you're playing low attack point monsters, you don't take too much damage from that. However, again, the burn damage can stack, and it's not during. And what makes it even more on the unbalanced side is it's not limited to the person who controls Dragoon's turn. It goes for both players' turns. That's not banned. That was banned for a really long time. And again, the effect is why it's banned. It was banned, and it should have stayed banned. Yet, again, can destroy, gets one single negate while it's on the field. One single negate. Once you use that negate, it's gone permanently, unless you can get it back on the field at some point somehow. And it has to be during your main phase. If you're the one playing it, it has to be during your main phase. You can destroy one card on the field. That's it. None of that can't be destroyed by card effects, can't be negated, can't be targeted by card effect. None of that shit. It doesn't do burn damage. It doesn't gain attack points. This is banned. But Dragoon is not banned. What the fuck, Konami? Like, that is so stupid. Like, why would you ban... Again, Baronne's actually fairly balanced in that regard. That's Dragoon's effect. Here's Baronne's effect. Once per turn, you can target one card on... Oh, it's... Well, I mean, it's once per turn, at least. Again, once per turn. Still fairly balanced. It's not like you can do it, like, twice, like you can Dragoon, you know? And it doesn't do burn damage. On top of that, you can target one card on the field. Destroy it. Once while face up on the field, when a card or effect is activated, you can quick effect once while face up on the field, by the way. You can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. You can only use the previous effect of Baronne de Fleur once per turn. Once per turn during the standby phase, you can target one level 9 or lower monster in your graveyard. Return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon that monster. Again, fairly balanced card, all things considered, especially when compared to Dragoon. Fairly balanced card. This is banned. A broken card like Dragoon, unbanned. And illegal. And as far as my knowledge goes, I'm pretty sure it's not even limited or semi-limited. I'm pretty sure you can play 3 of Dragoon in the TCG, in the OCG. I might be wrong about that, but that's as far as my knowledge goes. That is ridiculous. This is banned. That's not. What the fuck, Konami? And then last, for the extra deck monsters that I currently have, I'm only missing 2 extra deck monsters, those being Vices Emeritara and Chaos Angel. Fuck, dude, Chaos Angel is going to be expensive. Like, fucking $35. God damn, why? I mean, I can somewhat understand why Chaos Angel is that price. It's a really fucking powerful monster. So, I guess it's justified. And again, as far as my knowledge goes, Chaos Angel and the TCG and maybe the OCG, not banned or limited or semi-limited. Again, that's as far as my knowledge goes. I don't know exactly what is banned and what's not banned in the TCG and the OCG, but I do know Dragoon is not banned in either. Which it fucking should have stayed banned, but nope, we'll ban fucking a balanced card like Baronne, a more balanced card like Baronne de Fleur. Why? That is so fucking stupid. What was Konami thinking? That's so stupid. And now we get into the main deck monsters. Hold on, I need a drink. Starting off with the main deck monsters, and just the main deck in general. We got 3 Stellar of the White Forest. Each of these was like a little over $3 a piece. So I spent a little over $9 for all 3 of these. You think that's bad? But think of what I'm about to tell you makes this completely justifiable. Do you want to know how much one LZ of the White Forest costs? A little over $6. For 1 copy of LZ of the White Forest. You play 3 in the White Forest deck, you play 3. So that's a little over $18 you're spending. So, literally for the price of 1 LZ of the White Forest, you're basically paying for 2 a Stellar of the White Forest. But if you want all 3 of the a Stellar, all three of the LZ of a White Forest, you're paying 6 a Stellar of a White Forest. You're basically paying the price of 6 of a Stellar of a White Forest just for all 3 LZs. It's fucking insane. And again, LZ, one of the pricier cards in the deck, and because, I was only, limited on how much I could spend at the store, again, $31, I didn't get a single LZ. Again, a little over $18 for 3. That's fucking ridiculous. But moving on, got, excuse me, 2 Sylvie of the White Forest, 1 Rusia of the White Forest. I bought another Diabellstar the Black Witch, because of course I did. I fucking love Diabellstar. I love Diabellstar, dude. Of course I got another Diabellstar the Black Witch. And then 1 card I almost never really use in the deck, because again, I never draw it in Magic Duel, and if I do draw it, I can only special summon it through having a Sinful Spoils card in the graveyard. Or I can tribute summon to summon it. But Diabell's the original Sin Keeper. And here we have when it comes to the deck, the first card that I was able to get my hands on, yet wasn't able to get all copies I needed of, was Toy Soldier. You play 2 copies of Toy Soldier in the deck. 2. Well, I do at least. I play 2 copies. But the store only had this 1 copy, so I snagged it. So yeah, I do have to get another Toy Soldier at some point. But again, it's only 1 copy, so I should be fine. Unfortunately, they did not have a single toy tank. And you only really... I personally play 1 toy tank in the deck. They didn't have it at the store, so I'm going to have to buy a toy tank. Get a toy tank online at some point. Hopefully, hope the store gets one. And then it got 2 Ash Blossoms. Yeah, when I said I bought another Ash Blossom for a Traptrix deck, I actually really bought 3. I bought 3 because they had 3. Well, they had more than 3 of this specific artwork. Obviously, it's the most common artwork. I saw it was they just one of these was a bit more. It was a few cents more than the one I was looking at previously. However, the Ash Blossom I was looking at previously, they only had 1 copy of, but I wanted to add all 3 copies at the same time. So thankfully, the next option, second cheapest option, which is the ones I'm holding right now. Luckily, again, a few cents more than before, than the one I was looking at before. But there was exactly 3 from that selection, so I added all 3 from that selection to my cart. Got 2 Ash Blossoms. Which is good. And then I bought another Ghost Spell in the Haunted Mansion for the deck. And then I bought another Effect Veiler for the deck. Just because. I figured, why not? They were actually, again, the cards I have were actually fairly cheap, all things considered. The only card that was actually really expensive, in quotes, when it came down to it, were my 3 Stellar at $3 plus a piece. It is, again, so far, and that's just the White Forest deck. A little over $3 for 1 each. That's, again, not bad. Again, especially when you consider Chaos Angel and Elzette, like, ooh, $3 for one Stellar, not too bad. Like, again, and here's the thing too. At the store, they hilariously had two Stellars in the binder, because they have binders as well. Not only do they have like the kiosk, which is why I ordered almost all these cards from. They also had what's in the, like, the cases. What's the graded cards, all that, and then they have binders. I looked at the normal Yu-Gi-Oh monsters and the binders. They had two A Stellar of the White Forest in the binder, so I took those out. And not only did I take those out, but there's another card I found and bought to go with it, but I have no idea where I put it. Yeah, I have no idea where I put that other card. Because I did buy a cheap card on top of that, because why not? It was like $1, so I'm like, you know what? It's a one of. I'm very likely never going to use it in a deck, but it's $1, so why not get it? But yeah, I think I'm going to look for it. I'll be right back. So I unfortunately come with bad news, sad news, or bad news, whatever you want to call it. I think I accidentally threw it away last night. I think I forgot to take it out of the bag, and I used the bag to, like, scoop cat poop and throw away. So because of that, I probably didn't check before I actually used the bag. So I probably threw it away. But it was a Bestial Druis worm. I paid $1. Again, I paid $1 for it, so it's not that much for the Bestial Druis worm. But again, I still paid for it. It sucks. I very likely accidentally threw it away. I'm upset about that, but again, it's $1. It was $1. I probably was going to put it in like a deck anyway. It was not. It would have been nice to have, which is why I got it, because why the fuck not? Which is also why I got Baron de Fleur. I just found out it was banned, but I still got it just because, why not? Just in case it hopefully does get unbanned in the TCG. I can use it, and if I want to use it, I've already got it. So it's like, yeah. But again, the Bestial Druis worm, unfortunately, is very likely gone. I'm upset about that, but yes, I still paid for it. It was $1. Like, I'm sure I could find another one at some point for around that price, maybe a little more. But again, probably, who knows. But yeah, now we going back to the White Forest deck. Now we move on to the spells. Got one Tales of the White Forest. Again, I personally only play one in the deck, so I got one. And these next two spells, I play two of in the deck. However, the shop only had one of each. But one Scourge of the White Forest. Again, I personally played two, but the store only had the one, so I copped it. And Toy Box. Again, store only had one. I got it. I played two, personally. Some might say you need to play three, but I personally play two. because, just in case. I mean, there's times where I don't even play a single toy box and I still win, but yeah. The second one's still nice to have, just in case. And then one of Crossout Designator. And then the Called by the Grave I removed from my Twin Snake Eye deck. I decided to add it to this deck because, again, I have one in the deck in Master Duel, so might as well. And again, when it comes to the main deck, the minimum requirement is 40 cards. That's one of the cards that makes it, and the deck I use in Master Duel when it comes to White Forest is exactly 40 cards, excluding the 9 in the extra deck. Exactly 40. So yeah, thankfully that's... Yeah. But yeah, now we finally move on to the traps. I got every single trap card I needed for the deck. Every single one. 2 Sinful Spoils of Slumber Morion. 2 of them. 2 Woes of the White Forest. 2 Infinite Impermanence. Again, I bought 2 more because, believe it or not, they're fairly cheap. They're actually fairly cheap. They're a common rarity, but which is why they were so cheap. But still, 2 Imperms, really cheap? Like, fuck yeah, I'll take it. I paid, I think, around like $1, maybe more for both of them, just on their own. So that's pretty good. God, no. I could get more if I need to. 1 Solemn Judgment, which is a card I almost never really use because I never really get it. But when I do use it, I do use it. And then, last but not least, as of right now, when it comes to the White Forest deck, 1 Mannadium Reframing. And with that is all that... Wait, Steam, what the fuck? But yeah, I'm getting everything loaded up on my PC so I can start, because I want to play some Touhou while I'm working on the final edit for this video. I probably might record the Touhou gameplay, and if I do record it, I might upload the footage at some point. Not exactly sure. Like, I'll record it just in case anyway. But when it comes to actually uploading it, no idea yet. But Steam wasn't opening properly, so yeah, kind of had to close it, get it work, and all that. That's been happening to me quite a bit lately. I don't know why. But yeah. Again, as I was saying, with that said, that is the White Forest deck showcased and started as of right now. Missing 13 cards that I don't have already. I'll probably get extra copies of the cards I already do have, just in case. Except SP Little Knight. I am not paying for another SP Little Knight. No, fuck. I'm not paying for an SP Little Knight. No. And even then, finding one is tough. Like, I was lucky to even get the one I have. Let alone getting the second one. I mean, Diabell Star, I paid a little over $1 for each of them. So it's like, except my original Diabell Star that I got for my Trap Tricks deck, which is the first Diabell Star I got. That was like a little over 2, but you know what? It was fine because, again, it still wasn't too much to pay. So I'm like, you know what? Why the fuck not? And yeah. But again, those LZATs and that Chaos Angel. That fucking Chaos Angel. Like, I don't really need Chaos Angel, but holy shit. Holy shit, is it useful. But yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you for watching throughout the entire thing. I know I rambled on a lot, especially about Dragoon. Should still be fucking banned. Why did they unban that? But Barone is banned. Why? Pot of Greed is still a ban. Pot of Greed and Graceful Charity are still banned, by the way. I mean, Graceful Charity I can understand being banned. But Pot of Greed's still being banned, but Dragoon's not. Like, why? It's dumb. But yeah, again, I'm done. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna play Touhou. Take care.